Hey there, Miranda Wilson here with another lesson idea to go along with our adapted articles. Our goal is to highlight and explain some of the additional resources we've curated to help with your lesson planning. So let's jump in with one of our most recently adapted articles. What can fossils tell us about the nervous system's evolution? This article is by Russell Bicknell and his colleagues. They came across a horseshoe crab with a fossilized central nervous system in a museum collection. Usually, soft body parts don't fossilize very well, so this was a huge find. What made it even cooler was that the organization of the fossil looked pretty much like what we would see in horseshoe crab today, which means that their central nervous system hasn't changed in the last 300 million years. Whether you're talking about fossils, evolution, or the brain in your classes, this would be a cool article to discuss with your students. We know that sometimes students can find reading articles, even adapted ones, a bit tedious. So we've curated links to some additional resources that could help round out your lesson plans with experiments and hands-on activities. So, if you're deep into fossils in your classes, we'd highly recommend checking out the National Park Service website on fossils and paleontology. They have lesson plans to actually make fossils, learn how fossils are formed, and explore which parts of an animal fossilize better. Many of the activities are for younger students, but could serve as good demos in class or to support a larger lesson. If you want activities that combine the fossil record and evolutionary concepts, you should check out the compilation of paleontology lessons maintained by UC Berkeley. Many of these lessons are meant for middle school or introductory high school students and range from topics about geology and radiocarbon dating to phylogenies using the concept of island biogeography. We took a deep dive into one of the lessons here about adaptations in the fossil record on episode 7 of our Lesson Ideas podcast, all about dinosaurs in the Arctic. So check that out if you're interested in hearing more. If you'd like to challenge your upper level or AP high school students, the Science Education Resource Center, or CERC, at Carleton College maintains a great database of paleontological lesson plans. These are generally meant for college students, but many of them can easily be adapted to high school level. A lot of the lessons include data analysis and graphing, as well as the use of real-world examples. The lesson, Are You Smarter Than a Dinosaur?, is a great activity that ties in with our adapted article and has some math extensions using logarithms. If you're using this adapted article as a fun way to talk about the central nervous system, you might be interested in exploring the activities on the University of Washington's Neuroscience for Kids website. They have activities, games, and projects to learn about how the central nervous system is organized and how it works to keep humans functioning. My favorite is an experiment called How Fast Are You? In the reflexes category. It uses a ruler drop test to assess students' reflexes, and I've done it with my introductory biology class for years. They have some suggestions for comparisons, but my students always loved looking at their reflexes in response to different sensory signals. For example, having to grab the ruler with their eyes closed after someone tells them it's dropping, or after a quick tap on the shoulder. Let us know if you try this and what variations you used. Don't forget to take a look at our videos at the bottom of the article page when you're planning your class time. There's always a video meant to introduce the topic of the article to your students. In this case, it's a quick 2-minute video on horseshoe crabs and why they're what we call living fossils. If we have an Ask a Scientist interview with the researcher, that'll show up here too. Also, for each adapted article, we provide an audio version of the article being read for those students who might need some extra help with their reading skills. You can access our audio versions on the webpage for each adapted article or on the Science Journal for Kids YouTube channel. That's all for today. If you'd like more teaching tips and ideas for lesson planning, please check out the audio or video versions of our Lesson Ideas podcast. If you have questions or comments, please share them in the feedback form on our website. You can also sign up for our free monthly newsletter to learn about our latest content. And as always, please explore the rest of our website, sciencejournalforkids.org, for more free science teaching resources.